Welcome to The Explainer. So, Nvidia just laid out their vision for an AI future at CES 2026, and believe me, it's way bigger than just faster graphics cards. We're talking about cars that can actually think, factories that are basically giant robots, and the brand new engine that's going to power it all. Let's dive right in.
So Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, started everything off with this one simple but really powerful question. And he wasn't just talking about a car that can, follow the GPS. He was talking about a car that can actually understand and reason about what's happening around it.
Okay, so what does that even mean, a thinking car? Well, NVIDIA's answer to that is something they're calling Alpamo, and it's a completely new kind of AI for self-driving.
So what's the big deal with Alpamo? Well, it's not just following a bunch of if-then rules like some older systems. It's trained what they call end-to-end. The best way to think about it is, it's like it learned to drive by watching millions of hours of real driving, instead of just reading the driver's manual. It sees, it acts, and, get this, it can even tell you why it did what it did.
And how do they teach it? It's pretty cool, actually. It's a mix at the best of both worlds. It learns from millions of miles of actual driving done by human experts. But on top of that, it's supplemented with a huge amount of virtual driving data that's generated by NVIDIA's supercomputer, Cosmos. I mean, this thing runs just endless simulations to throw every possible weird scenario at the AI.
Okay, but the big question is, what about safety, right? And this is where it gets really smart. They have this two-in-one system. I love this analogy. Think of it like an airplane with two pilots. You've got Alpamo, the super advanced AI acting as the captain. But there's also a co-pilot, which is a much simpler, totally reliable system, and it's always watching. If Alpamo ever gets even a little bit unsure, bam, the co-pilot takes over instantly with a set of foolproof controls. It's all about maximum safety.
And this whole dual stack thing, it's a world first. Nobody else is doing this. And it's not just theory, it's already paying off. The brand new Mercedes-Benz CLA is the first car to use this tech, and it was just rated the safest car in the world by Euro NCAAP. I mean, that's a pretty massive endorsement of this whole safety approach.
And the crazy part is, this isn't some far-off future tech. You won't have to wait long at all. The rollout is starting in the US in the first quarter of this year, then it's heading to Europe, and then Asia later in 2026.
Okay, so cars that can think is a huge deal. But NVIDIA's not stopping there. They're taking this same core idea and aiming it at an even bigger target, using AI to actually design and build the technology of tomorrow.
And to make this happen, they've announced a major partnership with the industrial giant Siemens. We're talking about plugging NVIDIA's AI right into the heart of design and manufacturing. And listen, this isn't just about making an assembly line go a little bit faster. This is about completely rethinking how we design and build complex stuff, right from the very beginning.
The key concept here is something they're calling agentic AI. Now, don't think of these as just software tools. Think of them as expert AI partners, collaborators that will work side by side with human engineers to help design everything from super complex computer chips to the entire factory floor needed to make them.
And where does this all lead? Well, it leads to a pretty mind-bending vision of the future. We're talking about entire manufacturing plants that aren't just automated. They're literally designed by an AI and then operate as one single gigantic, intelligent robot that's constantly improving itself.
Right, so if you're going to have thinking cars and these massive robot factories, you're going to need a whole new level of computing power to run everything. And that, of course, was the next huge announcement from NVIDIA.
Here's the fundamental problem they're trying to solve. All of this amazing AI stuff, it needs a truly insane amount of computation. I mean, it's just skyrocketing. We're talking way more than current hardware can handle. The demand is exploding, and the technology has to evolve to keep up.
So, what's their solution? It's a brand new platform called Vera Rubin, and it all starts with their new CPU named Vera. Now, the key here is efficiency. In a world where data centers are consuming more and more power, Vera delivers double the performance for every single watt of electricity you feed it. That's a huge leap.
But that hyper-efficient Vera CPU is just one half of the equation. It's paired with an absolute beast of a GPU called Rubin. And get this, it's not just one chip. They've literally fused two enormous GPU dies together to create one giant engine that's purpose-built for these massive AI jobs. And maybe the most impressive part? This whole platform is already in full production.
But the raw horsepower of these new chips is only part of the story. The real secret sauce, the magic, is in all the foundational tech that makes it all possible. This stuff you don't always see.
First off, you've got something called Bluefield 4.
The best way to picture it is as a super smart traffic cop for the entire data center. It manages all the messy stuff, networking, security, virtualization, which frees up the big guns, the CPU and GPU, to do what they do best, just pure computation. It makes everything run way more securely and efficiently.
Okay, so another big problem in the industry was that every time new chips came out, companies like Dell or Foxconn had to basically reinvent the wheel, designing new systems from scratch. So Nvidia created a new industry standard called MGX. Think of it like a set of high-tech Legos. It's a universal blueprint that lets everyone in the industry build systems around this new tech super fast. It's all about accelerating adoption.
Now this next part is just an incredible piece of engineering. The Vera Rubin system is twice as powerful as the last one, but get this, it's cooled with hot water. We're talking 45 degrees Celsius or 113 Fahrenheit. What does that mean? It means you don't need those giant, expensive, power-sucking chillers in data centers anymore. I'm going to say it again. They are cooling a supercomputer with hot water. That's just wild.
And the last piece of this foundational puzzle is a brand new chip manufacturing process they're calling COOP, which they worked on with TSMC. And this is a massive breakthrough. Basically, it allows them to put super fast optical connections, we're talking light speed, directly on the silicon chip. This just smashes one of the biggest bottlenecks in computing and lets all the components talk to each other at unbelievable speed.
So, okay, when you take a step back and you look at all of these different pieces together, the thinking car, the robotic factory, the crazy new computer, you start to see that it's all part of one big connected strategy.
When you see it laid out like this, it becomes so clear. Nvidia isn't just selling chips anymore, not by a long shot. They are building the entire stack for the AI era. From the absolute foundation, the silicon, the networking, the cooling, all the way up to the engine, the Vera Rubin platform, and then to the final applications like Alpamo in a car or an AI building a factory.
I mean, this kind of vertical integration, building everything from the ground up, is just a massive, incredibly ambitious plan. And it really leaves us with a big question to think about. As one company sets out to build the entire operating system for the next age of computing, what kind of unbelievable new possibilities is that going to unlock? And, on the other hand, what kind of new challenges is that going to create?